Hello, adventurers! So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a character on D&D Beyond. So D&D Beyond is what we are going to be using for our Dungeons and Dragons campaigns. It is a lovely venue full of different things that you can use, especially if you're not familiar with the game. So the first thing you're going to want to do is sign up and create an account. You can use the Northside account, you can use your regular account, it really doesn't matter. I'm already signed in, so I'm going to go ahead and click that sign in button. And once I'm all signed in, it gives me some great resources. So I have my collections on here, they have my characters, my campaigns, my encounters, all these wonderful things, the dice that I can use. I've got game rules on here. If you aren't sure what a character is, you can go to game rules and click. So for instance, if I'm not quite sure what a paladin is, I can go ahead and click paladin, and it will tell me in detail what this person is, what are their features, how to create a paladin, what's their oath of devotion, etc., etc. If I want to know more about races, I can go ahead and click the races, and they will tell me about the different races as well, like halflings. Spells are on here as well, and you can go ahead and click any of these and learn more about that. For instance, if I'm looking at transmutation, I'm not quite sure what the spell transmutation does. I can click on it, and it'll tell me a little bit about transmutation. How many times can I cast it per turn? The duration of it, how long does it take to come into contact? What's the range area? Is it an attack or can it be saved? Or is there what kind of damage or effect does it happen? So we don't really usually need to use the marketplace. Everything else is usually pretty free. Tools, we have our character builder, our players app, all these kind of things. We usually just use our character builder. There are articles and stuff in here for you guys as well that you can look at and learn more about it. There are forums, there's a new player guide, and there's quarantine resources. So in the quarantine resources, you can see campaign content sharing. They have some free adventures on here and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to the new player guide. It'll tell you what D&D is, how to play it. So usually the DM would describe the environment, players would describe their desired actions, and the DM narrates the results, kind of like what I'm doing now. You would get your game dice. There are some rules on here. And then there are other rules to remember, like how the DM adjudicates the game, so they are the final authority. I like to call them God. There's a rundown. There are specific beats, general, and the effects with the same name don't exactly stack. So once you're ready, you can go ahead and create a character. So I'm going to forge my legend. I'm going to start by creating a character, and I'm going to show you how to create a character. So I'm going to quick build real quick. And to do the quick build, I'm going to choose my race, my class, and I'm going to give a character name. So I'm going to get ahead and choose a race. I'm going to keep it all sources. I like to do that. And my favorite one actually is to do a halfling. I like to do a Lightfoot halfling. My class, I always go for a rogue. This is my general go-to. And my character, I'm going to name her Brevlin. She's usually who I use for all of my stories. So as I create Brevlin, it pulls this up for me. And I want to go back to home real quick. Once I do that, I can go and I can use encumbrance, not use encumbrance. It doesn't generally matter. Most of these don't generally matter. But what I do want to make sure is your advanced type. Your advanced type is how your character is going to progress. So how are you going to gain levels? So you can either do a story-based character progression or experience points. So we want to go ahead and we want to make it experienced points. And that's so that every time you do an action, you get experience points for it and you move on. So I'm just going to go through these. I have my race in here. They tell me a little bit about halflings. I've got my class in here, and anytime you see that exclamation point, they want to know more about the character. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to choose my rogue expertise. Well, I want Brevlin to have great sleight of hand, and she's going to have great acrobatics. And then it shows some for me, but I can go ahead and I can change these if I so wish. I'm going to keep sleight of hand, acrobatics. I'm actually going to choose deception. I really like using deception. I'm going to keep the standard array right here, already done for me. I don't want her to be a soldier. I want her to be a criminal spy. And I'm going to choose her proficiency. She is stealthy. So I get to choose a couple other ones. So I really want her to have nature, dice set, and a tool that I want her to have is I actually want her to have a disguise kit. So she can change into whoever she wants. Here, I really do suggest, guys, you create your character. This is the time that you can really get creative. So she has criminal contacts. Her characteristics, you can choose her personality types. They say choose 2 personality types. You can go ahead and click random if you want, but I think she's incredibly slow to trust. And I also think that the first thing that she does in a new place is locate where everything valuable is, because she's a thief, and why not? Her ideals is that she's friendly. She is loyal to people, to her friends. Not any ideals or nature. Everyone else can take a trip down the River Styx for all I care. She doesn't really care about anybody but her friends. And then her bonds. These are the things that are going to hold her together. And her thing is something was taken from her and she aims to steal it back. And then the flaws. These are the things that they're not so great about her. And I'm going to say that, I don't want to have a tell because I want to have high perception. I want to have high deception. When there's something valuable, I can't think about anything else except how to steal it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay. So you can go ahead and choose their alignment. She's usually neutral. Lifestyle, she's pretty poor. I'll be honest with you. Her personality traits are here. I could tell you about her hair, her skin, her eyes, her weight. However you guys want to do that. She's female. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And she's about 40 years old, which is pretty young for a halfling. She's 90 pounds. She's 4 foot. Brown eyes. Freckled skin. And her hair is blonde. Let's go ahead and say that. And then here you can give her organization, her allies, her enemies, her backstory, and any other thing that you really want to do. Starting equipment, I would go ahead and get equipment and not gold, because really they're going to give you gold already, but they're not really going to give you equipment unless you ask for equipment. So I want a short sword, I want a short bow and 20 arrows, and I want a burglar's pack. If you want to add any other items or inventory, you can go ahead and do that now. I have a bedroll, I have candles, crowbars, daggers, all these things in here. I can go and wear what I want or wield what I want, but I want to make sure that I have those things. While I'm here, I can go ahead and add any other thing that I want. I want to make sure that I have other gear. and I have a backpack, but I want to make sure that I have anything that I could possibly need just in case something happens. And you can do all sorts of things. I want cooking utensils. I want a climber's kit just in case, et cetera, et cetera. You just go through here and you can go and get whatever you need. And then when you're done, you'll be at your what's next, which is your character sheet. When you're done, have your character sheet. You can go ahead and export it to PDF if you so wish. You can go ahead and hit your character, go down, and you can get that export to PDF. I would go ahead, guys, once you have it, click to download it, and I would go ahead and share it with me, just because then you will have that ready to go for our campaign next week, or anytime you want to come and jump in to the campaign. You want to make sure you have your character ready to go so that you can just go ahead and jump in. All right, so I hope that helps you, and I will see you next week to start our adventure. Bye, guys.